My name's Adam Manaka and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
Hello, I'm Lance Robertson and welcome to Queensland Raceway on the outskirts of Brisbane as we continue our Round 4 coverage of the Swann Super Series. We've seen some cracking racing so far from the bikehaggle.com.au superbikes, but it's now the turn of the Patrice Dampers Supersport and Amsport 600s. Darwin's Sam Lambert is still the man to beat, having dominated all three races in Round 3, and as we take a look at the point standings, the gap to his nearest rival, Callum Barker, is a massive 36 points. Barker, meanwhile, is in a three-way tussle for second. Kawasaki riders Hayden Spinks and Simon Rees are all within reach of the Suzuki rider and could catapult themselves up the ladder should Barker fall foul of problems. In the Amsport 600 standings, Carl Kitson remains the series leader at the halfway point, but rocketing up the ladder is Jamie Aitken, who has closed the gap to just 18 points, thanks largely to a change of machinery in between events at Sydney and here at Queensland Raceway. Grant Davis, Brian Bolster and Robbie Tesoriero complete the top 5. Well, as the riders are getting themselves ready for the first race of the day, they wouldn't be able to go racing without the support of the only Australian permitting and licensing body that does both 2- and 4-wheel motorsport. It's Racers World, the licensing body for the Swann Super Series.
We were established since 2002, and in that 15 years the whole concept of races is growing rapidly. It's got to a point now where we've got 47 different event managers organising events all over Australia. We've got over 7,000 licence holders. So that enables us to get involved in a lot of sports. We just do much more than motorbikes. We also do drifting, we do drag racing, we do burnouts, we do a lot of grassroots motorsports, things like happy laps and cruising, and a lot of social events we get involved in as well. So being involved in events like this has helped with the promotion of races and got us involved in all those other grassroots motorsports, and it's growing rapidly. Racers World gives you an opportunity to get involved at a low cost. We're all about encouraging people in grassroots motorsports and helping in the development of the sport. So people can start at a lower level in motorbike racing and different motorbike events and progress to events such as these. So it opens the door to them at a very early stage, and we've got young competitors, we've got low-cost competitors who started many years ago and worked their way up to events like this. We have a website called races.world. There's lots of information on there about the races itself, the type of events that we sanction, and we also have a Facebook page called Races. If you go to that, you'll get up-to-date information on the events that we're currently sanctioning.
We're just about set to go for the first race of the day, which is scheduled over 9 laps. Can anyone stop Sam Lambert and his onslaught in the Patrice Dampers Supersports? We're about to find out. 35 bikes are about to face the starter, so let's have a look at the grid. The first row sees the two Sams in Lambert and Condon, with Callum Barker and Brenton Hyde alongside. Row 2 is headed up by Hayden Spinks, with Simon Rees, Anthony Quinn and Jack Dawes completing the quartet. The third row is Stephanie Redmond, Ryan Sellen and Shane Irwin. From row 4 onwards, it's all about the Amsport 600s, with Jamie Aitken, Ben O'Connor, Brian Bolster and Carl Kitson. Row 5 has Oscar Davidson, Matt Pillington, Grant Davis and Mary Molina, with the 6th and final row filling out with Adam Hend, Adrian Pellegrin, Nathan Brumby and Keith McCulhay in 24th position.
In preparation for 9 laps here of the 3.12 kilometre paperclip layout of Queensland Raceway. Who's going to get the whole shot? Oh, Sam Lambert got a good start, but so too did Callum Barker. He's been doing a great job with those practice starts.
Yeah, Callum Barker once again, as we saw in every race in round 3 yesterday, Lance, getting the whole shot into turn 1 with Trias Dampers for the first time. But we see Sam Lambert chasing him down straight away as they come through Dunlop Sportsmax.
Yeah, starts a wide entry, a narrow exit, gets the drive out of there. Who's that up into third place? Is that Sam Condon? He's trying very hard indeed. 3 wide down the bikehackle.com.au back straight. From third to first, from second to second. No, from third to second. Fourth. Anyway, they'll sort themselves out.
It's action aplenty already with only half a lap completed in the Trias Dampers Supersport 600 race so far. A couple of the riders sorting each other out further down the field, but at the moment it is Sam Condon out in front of Sam Lambert, with Callum Barker sitting there in third position on his Power Plus Racing Suzuki.
Yeah, that Suzuki dropped off the pace there on those last couple of corners there. I wonder if he had a slight problem, like maybe missing a gear, and that's why he went so far back down in turn number 3. But in the meantime, it's all about Sam Condon out in front of Sam Lambert, taking it up to him. Condon on the Yamaha R6, Lambert on the R6, the Suzuki GSX R600 in third place of Callum Barker.
Yes, it looks like Hayden Spinks is up there as well, but here comes Lambert up the inside to take the lead from Condon, going through Trias Dampers for the first of the flying laps there, Lance, resuming his position out in front.
Yeah, Lambert condition normal, but Condon doesn't. He looks superb early on this second day of competition in the doubleheader. This is round 4 of the Swann Super Series, coming to you from Queensland Raceway, race number 1 of 3 in the Trias Dampers Supersport and Sport 600. And Sam Lambert, the dominant force, is still leading, only 1 lap down.
Isn't it great to see how good Sam Condon's going? We saw him last year in the Ninja 300s there, Lance Racing. He's got this R6 Yamaha and he's come to grips with that so quickly this year. But it's all Sam Lambert at the moment. Callum Barker may have closed down a little bit to the front too, with a bit of clear track in front of him there. But it looks like the battle between Hayden Spinks and Simon Reeves on those 2 green Kawasaki's as well.
Yeah, they've got bragging rights on the Kawasaki manufacturer. So it's Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and then a quadrella of Yamahas behind them before the Suzuki of Davidson in 10th place.
Yeah, good battle there between Reeves and Hayden Spinks. Hayden Spinks, one of the most spectacular riders you're ever going to see, the way he hangs off that machine.
There is the battle for 4th and 5th. Spinks on 66, Reese on 322. Both of them on the very popular Kawasaki ZX6R.
Yes, a good battle there for, like you said, bragging rights for the green team there. But Hayden Spinks, he's not a short fellow, Hayden Spinks. That's why he can hang off that machine so far. But it's a drag race down the bikehackle.com back straight.
Yeah, Simon Reese just not quite close enough. Or is he? He's going to poke his nose cheekily up the inside and forces Hayden Spinks a little bit wide there. That was a bold manoeuvre. Very close, but very clean.
Yes, left nothing for Hayden to do then. A block pass almost there, Lance, as he went into iPhone Oils. But to maintain that position there, now he's moved up to, what's that, 4th position. Spinks has been relegated to 5th.
A good battle as they negotiate Sydney Motorsport Park ride days and exit that turn. Our race leaders are at the end of the bikebiz.com.au straight and negotiating races.world. Here's this battle for 4th and 5th. Right behind them, Stephanie Redmond being forced a little bit wide by Jamie Aitken on board the Green Home Solar Yamaha R6.
Yeah, Jamie Aitken, the leading AM Sport rider at the moment. He's having a great ride there with Steph Redmond, but here she comes up the inside, can't quite do it. Jamie returning to racing after a number of years layoff, as well as a couple of other riders in this series have done this year, Lance, and he's out there having a ball.
Isn't it great to see that the family is here with him, including his father, Paul?
Yep, Paul's there hanging over the pit wall at the moment, but watching his son having a great ride. Steph's having a great ride as well, but these 2 Kawasaki's are right at it still as they go into iPhone Oils.
Yeah, a little less than a breath between them. Simon Reese, Hayden Spinks ahead of them, Callum Barker, and the front 2 runners, Sam Lambert and Sam Condon. Here is a replay at the end of bikehaggle.com.au of the 322 of Reese asserting his authority up the inside of Hayden Spinks.
You can see that Rees giving that Kawasaki's brakes everything they had with the front wheel pattering up the inside of Hayden Spinks.
Back to live action now though, Tim, and here's this battle for second and third placing. As you mentioned, Callum Barker coming on very strong up the inside of Sam Condon. In that same area we just saw the replay of the Kawasaki combination and their battle, and this is of course on lap number 5 of 9, about half race distance, and Callum Barker looking very strong.
Yeah, Callum Barker's just pulled the fastest sector one time at 24.3 there lands. All the top 3 runners in the 1 minute 13s. It's a great battle there. Sam Lambert still slightly faster than the riders behind Barker and Condon.
Yeah, it's all about Sam Lambert at the moment. He has about a 1.4 second lead over this battle that we can see on screen at the moment between Callum Barker on his Suzuki and the other of the Yamaha at the front of the pack, of course, Sam Condon.
It'll be interesting to see the lap times when they cross the line this time, but Barker has just pulled a 1:12.9, so Barker the quickest rider on the circuit at the moment by almost half a second.
3.12 kilometres ago, Sam Lambert had a 1.4 second lead over Sam Condon, and now he has only a 1.3 second lead over Callum Barker.
So Barker's definitely closing down. Looks like Condon there's dropped a bit off the toe there as they go down the bikehaggle.com.au back straight. Let's see if Barker's got any answer with about 3.5 laps remaining in this race.
He's trying very hard on board that Suzuki. He's done a great job. The Power Plus Fuels Elite Motorcycle Suzuki GSXR 600.
And here's another look from Sam Condon's perspective, how Callum Barker used the slipstream effect to pass Condon's Yamaha down the bikehaggle.com.au back straight.
Here come the green Kawasaki's as they're still having a ding-dong battle there into races.world. It is still Rees over Spinks.
Yeah, he was very close there, Rees, to losing the front end of the bike. It got very wobbly under brakes. And unless you get right on that racing line, you're going to have difficulty through races.world. The end of the Swann Insurance main straight and through turn number 1, a couple of different lines there, one narrow, one wide. Will they get to maintain the momentum through Dunlop Sports Max turn 2? You can see Spinks back there trying to get the drive down nice and early. A cheeky look underneath the shoulder there from Rees. He knows that Spinks is looming up larger than life right behind him.
Yeah, Spinks trying a big move up iPone Oils, but the battle raging all the way down through the field there now. Number 22 is rider Ben Bolster on his Pro-Am Yamaha R6 machine.
Carl Kitson just in front of him on his R6 Yamaha, number 51.
Two of the front protagonists in the Pro-Am Sport, but that's Molina. It looks like they got the better of Sellen now on his At1 racing machine, so a great battle between those two riders.
Yeah, Ryan Sellen on board the Moto Hub Motorcycle Security Solutions At1 Pro Race Suits, Kawasaki ZXR, Mary Molina on the Race Tune Moto, Yamaha R6.
It's a good battle there, two different machines there, the Kawasaki versus the Yamaha, but fairly even in power down the bikebiz.com.au straight.
Mary Molina, I think they balked each other a little bit there, didn't they?
Yes, both taking rather varied lines through there, but still this battle rages between the two green machines.
Well, it is for bragging rights, isn't it? It's not the podium that they're after, but 4th and 5th place in the first of the Kawasaki's. Here comes Spinks up the inside of Rees. Rees covers the line, though, quite comfortably down through iPone Oils.
Yeah, Rees taking the wider line there. Looks like Hayden Spinks has really got to stick it up the inside there if he wants to get up the inside of that similar ZX6R.
Tried to get the power down to the ground there, Tim, but lost out on the racing line. As you mentioned, the wider line gives you the better drive.
Yes, but nothing separating these two riders at the moment. Rees is having a great race as they get ready to come across the start and finish line down the Swann Insurance main straight.
A little bit further back through the pack there. A good battle with Luke Rhodes out in front on board machine number 81, the Lucky 13 race gear Suzuki.
Battle raging all the way through the field here. Only the little battles between there's Molina and Selin as well, still going hard at it.
Still the 310 of Ryan Selin, yes indeed, as we get back to this battle for 4th and 5th place on the final lap. They've just overtaken the number 71 of Scott Chapman on the Zenith Motorcycle Tours Kawasaki ZX6R. This, as we've mentioned, folks, is 4th and 5th, but has probably been the closest encounter at the end of bikehaggle.com.au for the final time. Hayden Spinks gets up the inside now of Simon Rees.
Yeah, can he maintain that line? A great move there by Hayden Spinks. He's been trying to do that the last couple of laps, just couldn't quite do it. And look at the gap he's pulled already.
In the meantime, Sam Lambert drives through races.world for the final time. A victory again, just another notch in the belt of the victory lane for Sam Lambert. A great effort to finish ahead of a hard-charging Callum Barker, 2.3 seconds adrift of Lambert. Condon in 3rd place. Simon Rees, Hayden Spinks, Jamie Aitken, and mammoth effort from him to finish in P6. Stephanie Redmond, equally as well done in 7th. Oscar Davidson, Carl Kitson and Grant Davis rounding up the front page in P10.
We've got to try and make these tyres last because we used our qualifier in the first one. So we've just got to make this tyre go all the way and just keep consistent and make sure the boys stay behind.
One of the boys told me fastest lap of the race there, trying to catch Lambert. So yeah, 12.9, that's 0.4 fastest I've ever been around here. So you know, I'm getting to grips with the suspension and the tyres. So yeah, hopefully in the next 2 races this afternoon we can do good.
I'd say in certain areas it was grippier, and the track was still a bit patchy, which was interesting. But no, the tyres held out well, and hopefully they'll be good for the next one too.
So it's situation normal for Sam Lambert as he takes out another race win at the Matrice Dampers Supersports. Join us on the other side of this break for race 2. Welcome back to our round 4 coverage of the Swann Super Series here at Queensland Raceway. Riders are preparing themselves for the second of 3 races in the Matrice Dampers Supersport and Amsport 600s. And while Sam Lambert is trying to tighten the screws on his opponents, Callum Barker is already bucking the trend and has shown impressive pace all weekend. Our own Becky Lamb caught up with the Hatton Vale youngster earlier today.
Sam Lambert absolutely dominated race 1 yesterday, 8-second lead in front of you and Sam Condon. How does that change for you in the mentality going into round 4?
Yeah, I tried to stick with him the first couple of laps and then unfortunately ran wide at turn 4, so I dropped back to 9th position. Crew chief and dad were saying basically yesterday, but made my way up to 3rd place. So I know I can run with similar pace to both the Sams up the front, and then yeah, yesterday in race 3 I ended up beating Sam Condon and battling with Sam Lambert effectively. So I think today I can probably run up the front. Probably a bit of mixed conditions out there this morning, so you know, to even up the playing field a little bit more for me.
Let's talk about the challenges yesterday between you and Sam Condon. When he's out in front of you, what are you learning from him? And when he's behind you, how are you getting more and more in front of him?
Yeah, you know, watching the Condon boys over the last couple of years, they've been going pretty good, and I've never ridden against any of them, let alone Sam himself. So he's a pretty clean rider out there, but you know, he's harsh as well under brakes. But you know, that's just the 600 game this year, and yeah, behind him I can get a couple more lines off him that I didn't know before, and I guess essentially we're learning from each other really when we're both in front of and behind each other.
It's been quite a joy to watch both Callum Barker and Sam Condon duke it out all weekend long, and I'm pretty sure they're both learning more about their racecraft as well as building respect with each other. Their rivalry is set to continue in race 2, with riders now out on the track in readiness for the start. Here's how they'll line up. The first row sees Sam Lambert, Callum Barker, Sam Condon and Simon Rees. Row 2 sees Hayden Spinks, Stephanie Redmond, Ryan Selin and Shane Irwin. Jamie Aitken leads the Amsport 600 field off the 3rd row from Oscar Davidson, Carl Kitson and Grant Davis, with Ryan Bolster, Adrian Pellegrin, Mary Maloonan and Brooke Ernest on row 4.
The Matrice Dampers Supersport Amsport 600 race underway. 9 laps it was scheduled for. It's 1 less lap this time around on 8.
Yes, once again, Callum Barker showing his exceptional speed there off the line there. like we mentioned yesterday in round 3 there, Lance, is that he's been practicing at the drags down at Willowbank, going very well there on that little 600 machine, accused of being a 1,000cc machine in some of the races, but here comes Sam Lambert.
Yeah, Lambert is resuming position normal, and that is at the front of the pack.
Oh, still sitting in second spot there. Barker holding him out as they go through iPone oils for the first time. There's Jamie Aiken going around the outside of Ryan Sellen.
Pretty bold manoeuvre there. Sellen managing to maintain the pace and still the position there. But as they head down Dunlop into Sydney Motorsport Park, ride days.
It is still Callum Barker holding out Sam Lambert.
Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to topple him off the top run of the podium? Lambert trying very hard under brakes, gets up the inside.
Oh, gee, not giving much of a chance there to Callum Barker, pushing him very wide there. A big move there by Sam Lambert, sideways into races.world.
A lot of determination in both of those manoeuvres from both of those riders.
Here comes Barker having another big look up the inside. He's not having any of it at the moment, but sticking with Lambert as they cross the line for the first flying lap, he lands. These two have broken away from third place, Sam Condon at the moment.
Yeah, Sam Condon, a bit of a lonely ride. We heard from him. He was happy with his performance in race number 1 earlier on, Tim, but I'm pretty sure he'll be disappointed with his start in this second race.
Yeah, it looks further down the field too. I saw the 2 green Kawasaki's in the distance there, but he's further down in the field. They did the AM Sport class. There's number 32 is McKay. He's having a good ride there as well as he was in the Stars of Tomorrow.
Yeah, the number 90, Shane Irwin's in amongst the mix there as well, doing a good job to battle it out with them. The 14 of Nathan Brumby as they head through iPone oils. Look at this battle heading down into Sydney Motorsport Park for mid-pack. Bragging rights. As our race leader backs it in.
Doing it again, Sam Lambert backing that R6 machine into races.world, making that Yamaha very wide. Still got Callum Barker in second. There's Jamie Aiken having a good race there with that Kitson behind him.
I don't want to put the commentator's curse on the race meeting itself, Tim, but isn't it good to see how clean the track has ended up being and how incident-free it has been so far?
Well, actually, we've just heard the riders' comments, Lance, saying the track had been cleaner than it was yesterday after a bit of a wash last night. But here's a good battle there between Steph Redmond and that's Hayden Spinks she's got in front of, and there's that Rees in front of her. So Steph Redmond's having a great ride at the moment, sitting in 6th place on the road.
Yeah,
5th place now, sorry.
That's okay. The Extreme Carton addicted to track. Yamaha R6, the young lady who actually is a mentor in a lot of respects and also a rider trainer, isn't she?
That's right, yes, she's a rider trainer, and she's you can see why she's a rider trainer, because she can ride very, very well, keeping out the likes of Hayden Spinks. We know how good he's been going. But excellent work by her to sit in 5th place at the moment.
Not only that, she's a female, and I've heard that they're good at training.
Look at that. Looks like Sam Condon's got the better of for Callum Barker. Then Callum's must have made a big mistake there, because he was fair way in front. He was 0.5 of a second he lost on that lap just then. So he has definitely made a mistake that time around. So he's been relegated to 3rd place.
Looks a little bit unsettled on the exit there of turn 6. Here's this battle with Redmond and Spinks continuing as they head down bikehaggle.com.au back straight.
Geez, Stephanie's very good under brakes there on her R6 Yamaha. It's one of the best looking machines in the paddock too, that machine. Very easy to spot with all the spots and logos and that on it. But at the moment, keeping Hayden Spinks at bay.
Halfway through this 8-lap encounter, Lambert, Condon, Barker, Rees, Redmond and Spinks occupy the top 6 positions. Davidson, Aitken, Kitson, Davis, Bolster and Sellen in P7 through to 12. The remainder of them, Pellegrin, Rhodes, Brumby, Molina, Ernest Mulcahy, Irwin and Tesserero, your top 20.
Yeah, it looks like even Steph Redmond there just in front of Hayden Spinks, still closing down on Rees in front. So those two pulling each other further forward to get up to that 4th place of Rees on his ZX6R, number 332.
Yeah, the 322 that's up there. Simon Rees doing a good job to head off the Stephanie Redmond and Hayden Spinks battle. Spinks is certainly trying hard, but all credit and kudos to young Stephanie Redmond. What a great effort.
This is an excellent ride by Steph. She'd have to be You'd have to say one of the fastest lady riders. Oh, that's...
Is it Barker?
No, that's not Barker. That looks like it could be the yellow livered machine. Not quite sure. I'm not going to say who I think it is at the moment. Yes, it's Sam Condon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it might have been Barker at first, but yeah, it looks like it's Sam Condon.
64 Sam Condon has come to grief.
And you could see that he was actually running off the track, so he's okay. He may be a little bit winded and bruised and maybe even grazed, but he's A-OK. Enough to be able to run off the circuit, and he's up out of harm's way on top of the concrete barrier.
Yeah, so this has moved all these riders up to one position higher. That's very disappointing for Sam. Had a good position sitting there in second spot, but
that means he's going to be third. Reese.
Reese is going to be in third position. Redmond move up to fourth. Spinks now in fifth. A great battle here between these three riders, but as we see a replay, Lance.
Yeah, let's see if we can pick up what's happened. Oh, he's just lost he got unsettled through Dunlop Sportsmax. Oh, that's a bad roll, not for the rider, but for the bike. Look at bits and pieces coming off it all over the place. Looks like he got unsettled under power halfway through Dunlop Sportsmax. Similar to what happened with the rider on the bike in the previous category as well. And unfortunately, he didn't get away with it this time.
Yes, it's sort of like a half-high side almost, wasn't it? A high side then a low side, but he is perfectly okay, but I wouldn't say the same for that R6 Yamaha.
Look at this battle on screen, though, for the minor placings heading down the end of Dunlop into the Sydney Motorsport Park ride days.
Yeah, that looks like it's Sellen and Pellegrin having to go there. Pellegrin on his Daytona there with Ryan Sellen on his Kawasaki, the At1 racing team, another member of the Dominic De Leon team there.
And look at this rider coming on strong in the background as well, the 81 of Luke Rhodes.
Yeah, he just ran a little bit wide there, Luke Rhodes there, giving the advantage to Brumby, letting him up the inside. On his Suzuki, we saw Brumby having a good ride in the Stars of Tomorrow, and he's continued it on now to be in the top 15 to get some points.
This is the battle for 11th through to 14th inclusive, if you take all four of those riders into account. As Hayden Spinks, is that Hayden Spinks? Yes, it is, on 66. Stephanie Redmond.
She's pulled away from it, yeah. She's pulled away. So that's Hayden Spinks with, that's Davidson right on Hayden. And Jamie Aiken behind him. So Hayden must have made a mistake somewhere around the circuit because he's lost a lot of ground now. So
did you see Stephanie Redmond in front? I missed her. I thought she may have fallen off or had something. There she goes.
Yep.
You are dead right.
Yes, he lost 2 seconds that lap, Hayden Spinks. So obviously made a mistake somewhere around the circuit. But there's Steph Redmond, a clear gap now, sitting in 4th place on the road. That's a fantastic finish for her.
Here comes Jamie Aitken on board the Green Home Solar entry.
Sam Lambert's crossed the line already. Barker.
Last lap board.
Reeves has popped across the line. Redmond, Spinks, Davidson. Here comes Aitken as well. The battle rages still here. There's Pellegrin against Ryan Sellen once again. Bolster's just in front of them.
Sam Lambert is the fastest man on the track on the second lap. He set a lap record of 1:13.224. Well, not a record, but the fastest lap of the race. And he's maintained around 3 to 3.5 seconds gap or advantage since then. Callum Barker in second, Simon Rees in third.
Yes, he has once again dominated the proceedings in the Supersport 600 class, has Sam Lambert. And here he comes once again. Battle is raging all the way through that field there. That's number 81 there having a great battle. But here's Sellen and Pellegrin still hard at it.
Yes, the 81 Luke Rhodes has been fairly strong mid-pack throughout the entire race.
Yes,
but it's
14th.
All about Sam Lambert. He's going to make a clean sweep of it so far here this weekend at Queensland Raceway.
Callum Barker crosses the line for second spot, but the battle is... Oh, who's up the inside? Is that... Not quite sure. That was Stephanie Redmond having a big look up the inside of Rees to get the last podium position. She's just going to miss out there, Lance.
Yeah, Rees, Redmond and Spinks, little less than a breath between the three of those. Jamie Aitken, P6, doing a great job. Oscar Davidson in 7th. Carl Kitson finished 8th. P9 to Grant Davis. Brian Bolster in position number 10.
There was a few times I thought I could try and push for a good lap, but I had a moment and I figured, I may as well just... tone it back a bit and just see how I come along.
Yeah, Lambert's rocket ship of a Yamaha over there, and it just takes off when he gets in front. And I'm trying my best to keep with him. I think he did the fastest lap of the race again then. But yeah, there's just no stopping him, you know. So I think he's won every race besides the one he DNF'd at the start of the year. So hopefully we can get up there.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's really good to be up here. Been working pretty hard all weekend. Bit of arm pump in the first race and changed my gloves for the second one to an older pair and felt much better out there.
On the circuit at the moment, talking about front runners, it has to be looked at as Jamie Aitken being the key contender in this next one. It is the Sport 600 standalone race. It is the older model 600 Supersport bikes, and it's the opportunity for these riders to be able to get out there and showcase their wares. Here we go. Let's have a look at how they're going to start in the Sport 600 standalone race. Jamie Aitken, Ben O'Connor, Brian Bolster and Carl Kitson on the front row of the grid.
Yeah, Road 2's headed by Davidson, Matt Pillington, Grant Davis and Mary Molina.
Adam Hend, Alex Mahajevic, Nathan Brumby and Keith Mulcahy in 12th position.
Row 4 is Brooke Ernst, Robbie Tesoriero, Luke Rhodes and Matthew Franco.
17th position is occupied by Greg Nagy, Karen Dowsett, followed by Omar Tahan and Elias Matrai.
And wait, there's more. Daniel McCartan, Keith Hoare, Robert Golotta and Scott Chapman, row 6.
In the starters' hands now. No O'Connor by the looks of it will start. A good start from Jamie Aitken on board the Green Home Solar Yamaha R6. Under a little bit of pressure, but he gets a whole shot down through tree stampers.
Yeah, a good start there by Carl Kitson, as I mentioned earlier, leading this series coming into rounds 3 and 4. But Jamie Aitken at the moment out in front, where we've seen him all weekend in the Sport 600 class.
Yeah, around the outside, trying very hard is the 55 of Davison. Unable to get the upper hand of him, but I tell you what, he has now at the end of bikehaggle.com.au. He takes up the running. Is that 55 or 56? It's Davison.
Yeah, that's Davison on his Suzuki. Yeah, so he's actually got the good drive coming down bikehaggle.com.au to relegate Jamie Aitken in the second spot. Carl Kitson in the third.
Down the end of Dunlop, heading into Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days. 3 wide on the entrance. Get out of there. It's not that wide.
Gee, Jamie Aitken's getting mud there, isn't he, coming through at that Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days? But it looks like he's gained his composure down bikebiz.com.au to get in the second spot. But while all this is happening, Davidson's clearing the field.
Yeah, he is, unfortunately, for the rest of the field. Kitson's up there in third place.
Kitson with those multicoloured wheels you see spinning around there, that red and yellow livered machine. But it's Davidson, Aitken, Kitson, Davis, Bolster, Brumby, Pellegrin, Hend, Mulcahy and Molina rounding out the top 10 first time around.
Great effort there from Mary Molina to be up in the top 10 on the R6 Yamaha. As the battle intensifies for third place. Round the outside, looks at Davis, can't do it unfortunately on Kitson.
Davis right up the point here now on his Kawasaki. So we have the Suzuki, 2 Yamahas and a Kawasaki fighting position. Oh, Davis round the outside now of Kitson.
Yeah, almost. I think if there was a little bit more room, he may have even fired himself up the inside of Jamie Aitken. Down Dunlop, heading into Sydney Motorsport Park Ride Days. Oscar Davidson it is that leads at the moment, though, by 0.9 of a second, close enough to 1 second over Jamie Aitken. Grant Davis, Carl Kitson and Brian Bolster in that order. But Jamie Aitken's come on very strong in that last lap. He actually was the fastest one on the second flying lap, a 1:16.12, albeit only 0.14 of a second quicker than Oscar Davidson. But you could see how close he was that time around, Tim.
Yeah, Aitken, the first of the Sports into the 15-second bracket there, 1:15.7. That gap has now come down to 0.5 of a second from 1 second last lap.
Out of turn number 2, the Dunlop Sportsmax corner, which has brought undone a few people this weekend. A few players in the game, not quite got it right. But happy to report no major incidents involved in it. Oh, a little bit too wide there was the 56.
Davidson, you don't have to give Jamie Aitken a second chance to go through there. Pellegrin and Brumby still having a great battle.
Let's see what happened at the pointy end of the field, though. Did Jamie Aitken maximise the opportunity and get up into the front? We'll find out very shortly as we're concentrating on this battle for a little bit further back with Davis and Kitson.
Looks like Davidson's still got the upper hand over Jamie Aiken as they come down bikebiz.com.au, but look how close Jamie Aiken is now round the outside.
Get out of here. You're not supposed to be able to do that sort of thing.
Almost leaning on the R6 Yamaha, the Suzuki GSXR of Davidson.
Yeah, come on, I want a tighter line. Move over, elbows out. That's allowed the opportunity for Davis to get up a little bit closer as well. Suzuki, Yamaha, Kawasaki, 1, 2 and 3 as they head out of Matrice Dampers on the run down to Dunlop Sportsmax.
And a couple of laps to go. Jamie Aiken's got to make his move soon. Davis is right there on his Kawasaki as well. 0.6 of a second covering the top 3 as they crossed the line last time around.
Can he do anything about it down the end at bikehaggle.com.au? He certainly can. He almost opened up the opportunity for Davis as well. Aitken resumes the race lead on the exit of Ipone Oils. Can he maintain the pace down Dunlop into Sydney Motorsport Park ride days?
Yeah, he's got a couple of bike lengths too. There has Jamie Aiken over Davidson, who's slowed Davis down a bit as well. So they've opened up a bit of a gap now as they come down bikebiz.com.au.
A great effort from Jamie Aiken on the Green Home Solar Yamaha R6 to get up the upper hand on Davidson on his GSXR 600 and the Kawasaki Z6R of Davis in 3rd place.
At the moment, it's all Jamie Aiken on the last lap. He's slowed down a little bit. Davidson slightly quicker that time around, as well as Davis. So both those are 16.1, Aiken a 16.2. So
doesn't really show though on the circuit.
No, it doesn't. Jamie Aiken's he's controlling this race very well with about 3/4 of a lap to go through Dunlop Sportsmax as they come down bikehaggle.com. But look at Davidson. He's going to have a big look.
This is danger territory. This is exactly what I was going to speculate would happen. That Jamie Aiken just seems to run a little bit too wide on Dunlop Sportsmax, and that opened up the window of opportunity for Davidson to get up the inside at the end of bikehaggle.com.au.
There's a good ride there and an excellent overtaking maneuver by Davidson on his Suzuki, and he looks like he's got that gap there, Lance, coming in the Sydney Motorsport Park ride days.
Yeah, but don't discount Aiken. He's strong out of Sydney Motorsport Park ride days. If he can get good drive out of this 5th turn for the run down bikebiz.com.au and force his way up the inside going down into races.world, he's not going to go on the inside. He's going to go to the high, wide and handsome line, do the switch back, the cut back. Can he get the power of the Yamaha down early enough? The answer's going to be no. It's going to be Davidson that takes it out by a very narrow margin, only 0.2 of a second.
Good points for Oscar Davidson on his 600. Jamie Aiken in 2nd, Grant Davis, Carl Kitson, Brian Bolster, Adrian Pellegrin, Nathan Brumby, Mary Molina, 8th position, Adam Hend and Elias Metry rounding out the top 10.
Jamie's been the better of me all weekend. I'm just very lucky to get one up on him just near the end. So it's been great racing all weekend.
Don't go too far away, because on the other side of this break we have the 3rd and final race of the weekend for the Supersports and Amsport 600s. It's great to have your company here at Queensland Raceway as we welcome you back to round 4 of the Swann Super Series. We're not too far away from the start of race 3, and the leading Kawasaki rider in the field is Hayden Spinks, who is the only rider other than Sam Lambert to claim a race win this year. And Becky Lamb had a chat with the Hunter Valley-based rider earlier today.
Hayden Spinks, for round 4 of the Matrice Dampers Supersport, we haven't seen you in round 3 on the podium, but we did in round 2 and round 1, taking out the first race of the season as a win, and your very first race win. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. The first round of the season was pretty good at my home track, Eastern Creek. I quite enjoyed going to the creek, and to get the first win of the season was awesome. A bit of luck went my way at the first round, and I took the win, so it was good weekend.
Now, being that Giuseppe's overseas and he's not racing this weekend, is there any pressure on you being the top Kawasaki in the competition?
Well, being the top rider for your manufacturer is always good and always something that you want to aim for. So without Giuseppe here, it's going to make it a bit easier for me to be the top Kawasaki, which is good.
Now, let's talk about the top 3. You obviously had made it in round 1, round 2 at Sydney Motorsport Park, being your home track. We're here for round 3 and round 4. We didn't see you on the podium yesterday at Queensland Raceway, but how do we get up there today for round 4?
Today we're just going to make a few little bike adjustments and try and just go hell for leather and see what I can do in these first couple of races.
Well, Hayden Spinks has come on leaps and bounds since he first appeared in the Swann Super Series last year, and expect him to continue his challenge towards the front of the field. Riders are on the track now for this third and final race in the Matrice Dampers Supersport and Amsport 600s. Let's have a look at how they'll line up. The first row sees Sam Lambert, Callum Barker, Simon Rees and Stephanie Redmond. Row 2 sees Hayden Spinks, Ryan Sellon, Shane Irwin and Sam Condon. Jamie Aitken leads the Amsport 600 field off the third row from Oscar Davidson, Carl Kitson and Grant Davis, with Brian Bolster, Adrian Pellegrin, Nathan Brumby and Mary Molina on row 4.
All right, back on track now. In preparation, who will it be that gets the best start? Who will it be that gets the whole shot? Callum Barker again. Deja Vu gets the best of the start. He'll get the whole shot down into turn 1, Matrice Dampers.
Yes, if the race was only one corner, he would have won every race so far, but a great start and obviously been practicing those. But excellent racing between these two riders. Sam Lambert now is sitting in second spot. Has Callum Barker got any answers for Sam Lambert and his Yamaha?
Well, I think you'll find that Rees is up there into third. There we go with Steph Redmond in fourth place. Hayden Spinks up into fifth place. And here we go with the first of the overtaking manoeuvres. As we speculated, Sam Lambert, very strong and dominant. Steph Redmond going a little bit too wide there, opening up the opportunity for Rees to get up and occupy fourth place.
Yeah, Hayden Spinks is up there as well, so they're going to resume their battle. But at the moment, it is still Sam Lambert out the front of Callum Barker as they come through Sydney Motorsport Park ride days onto the bikebiz.com.au centre straight there. But let's see if how long he can stick with him. But look at the gap these two riders now have over third place Rees.
Callum Barker there getting very squirrel. We've got one rider off. Is that Steph Redmond?
Yeah, that's...
No?
I think it could be Steph Redmond. I can't see her coming down the straight. But look at Barker staying right on the back wheel of Sam Lambert.
Stephanie Redmond has fallen foul of the left-hander at Sydney Motorsport Park. Ride days, she's okay. She's got the bike up and off the circuit. She was struggling there for a little bit, but not for too much longer. She'll be back on the track or off the track and watching it as a spectator.
Yes, we had Sam Lambert and Barker going neck and neck as they come into iPone Oils. Barker's going to have a big look here. This is the best ride we've seen from Callum Barker so far this weekend. Sam Lambert had it all his own way, but this is the first time someone's actually taken it to the Yamaha rider.
Yeah, well, Barker has been chipping away there for quite a while over the last two races, and he did lead for a fair bit of the second race. At least for the first third of it, he was right up there at the pointy end. But here comes Lambert, very strong on the exit of turn 5. The run down bikebiz.com.au straight. He swoops to the outside, but Barker, very wise to that, covers the inside and best of the racing lines. Both of these riders doing a great job. Callum Barker on board the Power Plus Fuel Suzuki against the Yamaha of YRD and Addicted to Track.
Yeah, Callum Barker also sponsored by Elite Motorcycles, where he's doing his motorcycle mechanic apprenticeship. But here comes Lambert up the inside through Dunlop Sports Max. A forceful move there by Lambert has Callum Barker. He's having a look there. What he did, touching the ducktail, saying, "Come on, mate."
Yeah, I don't know whether it was that or whether he was apologetic or what the story is, but there's certainly a bit of banter going on between the two of them as they come down.
Another big move by Barker. Sorry, Lance, but excellent on the Suzuki, but he's really taken it to Lambert in the last race of the day. He doesn't want to give Lambert a perfect weekend here with round 3 and round 4, but these two riders, they're pulling away from the field by 3.5 seconds now already from who's that, Hayden Spinks and Aitken, who's having a great ride.
Yeah, Jamie Aitken's doing all right up there in fourth place, I beg your pardon. Simon Rees, then we have Davis, Davidson and Kitson all challenging each other, but this battle for first and second place, I reckon, is going to continue on right round the outside there.
He's gone wide though, hasn't he, Lambert?
Barker goes back up the inside of Lambert.
Oh, shaking the handlebars there. Nothing separating these two riders. This is a great battle for the last of the Supersport races of the day. Lambert takes the lead going into Matrice Dampers and through Dunlop Sports Max.
Yellow flag on display. Obviously a problem down there in turn 1. We have a rider that's off. We can see the bike stricken in the gravel trap. Ryder is up out of harm's way, right up high on the bank as Callum Barker now comes back strongly.
That Suzuki's definitely got some pace. We haven't seen a Suzuki go that good for quite some time.
I wonder what they've done between races 2 and 3 to be able to improve the power of this bike, because that's really what it comes down to. That's what he was lacking, wasn't it, Tim?
Yes, it looked the Yamaha was a little bit quicker down the longer section of the circuit, but now
it could simply be a fact of maybe some new rubber and a tweak of the suspension, which has exaggerated the power difference that there was.
Well, they have put a new shock on that machine for this weekend, so it seems to be working quite well. So we're only half race distance at the moment. Sam Lambert up the inside. He's backing it in there on that R6. Can he maintain that line? Barker's still right there. What a great race. This is the best 600 Supersport race we've seen all weekend so far.
I reckon it's going to come down to who's got the most intestinal fortitude at the end of bikebiz.com on the last lap.
Yes, don't forget it's sort of both their home circuit at the moment here up in Queensland. Both are living in Queensland. Barker from Hatton Vale not far from here. Yeah, let's see who can do it. We've got lap 5 at the moment of 8, but Barker's been very good here into iPone Oils at the end of bikehaggle.com.au.
Not this time around. Sam Lambert a little bit wiser as he threads that, or steers that Yamaha precariously on the correct line.
Let's look back on the switchback pass executed by Sam Lambert. As we can see, Barker carried plenty of pace and momentum in this pass on the Yamaha rider, but went too wide negotiating Races World Turn 6, and Lambert just snuck back up the inside to retake the race lead.
And a little bit further back, the battle is not limited to just there. We have a 4 or 5 way battle for the minor placings.
Yeah, that was Molina, Brumby and Sellen having a good battle, as they have all weekend, those three. They've been
Paul Atkin just on screen momentarily, and Jamie's girlfriend.
Yeah, Jamie Aiken's going very well at the moment, taking it right up to the... Oh, gee, Barker's up the inside once again at the end of bikehaggle.com.au. He loves that part of the circuit into iPone Oils, doesn't he?
He certainly does. The man is on a mission, looking for Lambert to come back strongly through this section, which he is very strong in, Tim. But I tell you what, Callum Barker has done a great job to be able to maintain his race lead through Sydney Motorsport Park ride days. He's going to have to cover his tracks here. He needs to be on the inside, not the outside. Lambert's opened up that opportunity for him. Good drive out of Sydney Motorsport Park ride days and down bikebiz.com.au, allowed him the inside run through races.world.
Yes, can he use it here, the slipstream at the end of Sport Insurance Intimate Trees Dam, but he's having a big look there, Barker, can't quite do it. This is lap 7 of 8, so it's not much of the race to go, but Barker's going to try everything he can. He's been very good at this part of the track.
He has been, and he's trying very hard through Dunlop Sports Max for the second last time, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, here he comes. Can he get up the inside? He's been under brakes. Gee, he's had to slow down there. Once again, it looks like he's going to get him under brakes there, Lance. No, he can't quite do it.
Lambert is going to continue his line and defensively win out in that one. You've got to say defensively, because normally he would have gone a little bit wider on the entrance, but he had a narrow entrance that time because he knew that Barker was right on his rear tail, almost on the seat with him, wasn't he?
Yes. Barker the fastest lap of 13.5 so far, 0.2 quicker than Lambert, but as you can see, and the battle is raging. There's that Ryan Sellen up there. He's got the better of this little group of riders with Brumby and Molina's in there as well.
Yeah, Ryan Sellen on the 310, Molina, Pellegrin, they're all in there. Bolster, side by side up the inside. Was that, who was that?
Yeah, that was a Brumby, I think.
Brumby,
yes.
yes.
Was this on the Suzuki on his G6? He's a Suzuki.
Ryan Sellen, Mary Molina, Pellegrin. That's the battle for 10, 11, 12 and 13th place.
Yeah, Kit's in 7th spot at the moment, but he was the rider coming into... Oh, here comes Barker again, but once again, looks like Lambert is on the inside. Final lap. This is into turn 3. iPone Oils, only 3 more turns to go, Lance. Definitely taking it to Lambert. Hasn't had it all his own way, as he has so far this weekend.
Well, Sam Lambert on the Yamaha YRD, addicted to track, trying to get up the inside.
Barker up the inside. Oh, can't quite do it, sorry.
Lambert out of turn 5 for the rundown, bikebiz.com.au for the final time. Will Barker be able to do it? I don't think he can from this point in time, Tim.
Nah, not anymore. I think Lambert's got the lead now, but he's tried very hard. Looks like Lambert's controlled this race perfectly. Yes, and good race there by Sam Lambert to take 3 down to 3 for the day.
Well, Tim, we're hearing word that the officials see things quite differently. And this is why, as we take a look at the replay on the pass executed by Sam Lambert on Callum Barker on lap 3. If we slow it down, you'll see that there is a yellow flag waving where Robert Galota went off, and Lambert snuck the Yamaha on the inside line, approaching Dunlop Sportsmax and passing Barker. And so therefore the officials have declared that Lambert has fallen foul of the rules, handing the win to Barker, with Lambert relegated to second. So Hayden Spinks was the first Kawasaki home in third, ahead of Simon Rees, with Jamie Aitken, the Amsport entry, home in fifth. Davidson, Kitson, Davis, Bolster and Sellen complete the top 10.
It should have come earlier. Everything that happened this weekend is it's been a massive win for me, basically. And even though I got second in the last couple of races, it basically feels like a win. But racing with Sam and all the experience he's had, and I'm still getting to grips with the 600. But I can't thank him and the rest of the competitors enough.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome battle. It was great having Callum there for a good fight. I've been sort of hoping the fight would come earlier, but it was great having that last battle. It really made me have to work. There was no grip in that race, so Callum and I were riding out of our skins to try and do it, so it was awesome.
Oh yeah, it feels good to be back on the podium. This weekend I struggled a little bit with my speed, but yeah, it feels good to get up here in the last race on Sunday afternoon.
So here are the points after 4 of 6 rounds in the Matrice Dampers Supersports. Sam Lambert continues to dominate, having won all but 2 of the races. He leads by 41 points, ahead of Callum Barker, who is currently in second. Hayden Spinks elevates himself into third in the standings, followed by Simon Rees and Stephanie Redmond, who is doing a fine effort in 5th place. In the Amsport 600 standings, we have a new series leader in Jamie Aitken, but the gap between himself and former leader Carl Kitson is now only 3 points. Grant Davis, Brian Bolster and Adrian Pellegrin complete the top 5. Well folks, that brings our coverage of the Supersports and Amsport 600s to a close. The next time they go racing will be at Sydney Motorsport Park on the first weekend of November for the final 2 rounds of the 2017 season. But we still have plenty of racing to come from round 4 here at Queensland Raceway, so join us next time for all of our support categories as part and parcel of the 2017 Swann Super Series.